Imagine a world where every desire is satisfied instantly. A world where you never have to feel cold, never have to feel hungry, and never have to endure a moment of silence or boredom. To most, this sounds like a dream. But to the Stoics, this is a nightmare. This is the birth of a fragile soul. We are currently living through a global crisis of comfort. We have traded our ancestral resilience for air-conditioned rooms and high-speed internet. But there is a hidden cost to this luxury. When life is too easy, the smallest inconvenience feels like a tragedy. A slow internet connection becomes a source of rage. A cold morning becomes an excuse to stay in bed. We have become slaves to our own convenience. The ancient Stoics warned us about this thousands of years ago. They knew that a man who has never suffered is a man who is unprepared for reality. They practiced a radical technique to reverse this decay: voluntary hardship. Today, we aren't just talking about discipline, we are talking about a total mental recalibration. We are going to learn how to suffer on purpose so that you can become truly untouchable. Let's look at the life of Lucius Annaeus Seneca. He was one of the most powerful and wealthiest men in the Roman Empire. He lived in a palace, surrounded by servants and unimaginable luxury. Yet, for a few days every month, Seneca would step out of his silk robes and into the rags of a beggar. He would eat only the coarsest bread, drink lukewarm water, and sleep on the hard, cold stone floor of a servant's quarters. As he lay there, feeling the ache in his bones and the hunger in his belly, he would ask himself, "Hoc est quod timebatur?" Is this what I was so afraid of? Seneca wasn't a masochist. He was a strategist. He knew that fortune is fickle. Today you are a king. Tomorrow you could be a prisoner. By living like a prisoner by choice, he removed the fear of losing his status. He realized that even in poverty, his mind was still his own. His virtue was still intact. He discovered that the things we fear are often less painful than the fear itself. Why does our brain crave comfort even when it makes us weak? It's an evolutionary glitch. For thousands of years, humans had to fight for every calorie and every spark of warmth. Our brains are hardwired to seek the path of least resistance to conserve energy. But in the 21st century, the path of least resistance leads straight to depression, anxiety, and physical decay. When you choose voluntary hardship, you are essentially hacking your dopamine system. Modern life keeps us in a state of tonic dopamine, a constant low-level buzz from social media, junk food, and entertainment. This kills our motivation. But when you endure something difficult, a cold plunge, a long fast, or intense physical labor, you experience a dopamine reset. By choosing pain, you increase your baseline for pleasure. After a day of intentional hunger, a simple bowl of rice tastes better than a feast at a 5-star restaurant. You are training your brain to find reward in the effort itself, not just the outcome. This is the biological foundation of the unbreakable mind. To master this art, you must move beyond theory. You must apply the 5 pillars of Stoic hardship in your daily life. These are not punishments. They are exercises for your soul. Pillar 1. Thermal stress. The Stoics often walked barefoot in the snow or endured the heat of the midday sun. Today, this is the cold shower. When you stand under that freezing water, every fiber of your being wants to turn the handle. By staying under, you are telling your primitive brain that you are the one in control. Pillar 2. Nutritional discipline. Practice periodic fasting, not for weight loss but for mental clarity. To feel hunger and realize that you are not going to die. It breaks the addiction to instant gratification. Pillar 3. Minimalist living. Spend a weekend with only the bare essentials. Sleep on the floor. Wear the same clothes. Realize how much of what you own actually owns you. The ultimate goal of voluntary hardship is to build what Marcus Aurelius called the inner citadel. This is a fortress within your mind that no external event can penetrate. If you have already practiced being hungry, being cold, and being insulted, what can the world do to you? If you lose your job, you know you can survive on less. If you are criticized, you know your worth isn't tied to the applause of others. You become a dangerous individual, not because you are violent, but because you are free. You cannot be bribed with comfort, and you cannot be silenced with fear. The most difficult hardship to visualize is our own end. Memento mori. Remember you must die. The Stoics didn't avoid the thought of death. They invited it to dinner. They realized that by accepting the ultimate hardship, the loss of life itself, all other problems become trivial. When you realize that your time is finite, you stop complaining about the rain. You stop worrying about a rude comment. You start living with an intensity and a focus that most people will never understand. Hardship doesn't just make you strong, it makes you present. So I have a challenge for you. Do not leave this video and go back to your comfortable life. Pick one act of voluntary hardship today. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for New Year's. Choose the cold. Choose the hunger. Choose the difficult conversation. Not because you are a masochist, but because you are a warrior in training. The world is getting softer, but you don't have to. You have the ancient wisdom of the Stoics in your hands. Now, put it into your bones. Embrace the struggle. Build the citadel. Become untouchable.